DJ Uigalele, something like that. I know it's not ukulele, it's like Uiagalele. Uiungalele? Uiungalele, I think. Uiungalele, yep, my boy, I think. I hope that's right. Uiungalele. It's very hard to pronounce. A lot of vowels and letters and syllables.
I think I got this. Uiungalele. I think that's right.
DJ Uiungalele.
DJ Uiungalele, that's what I got. But I'm glad we ruled out ukulele, whoever did that. So thanks for that. So we can take that one out.
Listen, if we can do Ententacampo and Tunga Vailoa,
yes.
You know, like this is, we got to get used to it.
No, for sure. Tim, talk to me about this.
Me and DJ, we're on a first-name basis, so we're just going to go with DJ, okay? It's personal. It's friends now. It's just first-name basis.
Yeah, Tim, me and DJ aren't on a first-name basis, but we're going to go first-name basis, too. So let's start right there. What do you think he's going to do against Notre Dame's defense?
Well, I think he's got a lot of support. I think he's got to get into Amari Rodgers and Travis Etienne. He's got to get comfortable in the game. When you look at last week against Boston College, you could see someone with superior talent to most other quarterbacks. But he had some troubles in certain areas of the game. A few times picking up blitzes and a few times throwing out patterns to his left. He kept it in the field of play where it had chances to be picked. Now, you also saw times where he was able to throw the ball down the field with maybe more velocity than Trevor Lawrence, and he was able to come up with big plays. I think one of the biggest things for him is taking what the defense gives him and trusting your playmakers like Travis Etienne, like Amari Rodgers. I think you're going to see a lot of screens, receiver screens and running back screens early in the game to get DJ going, because when he got confidence at that game, his superior athletic ability really showed then.
What's all of this noise I'm hearing about Trevor Lawrence is no longer the leading candidate for the Heisman? What are your thoughts about that?
I think he's right up there. I probably have him at 1B right now, right behind Mac Jones. I think if you look at what Mac Jones has done, I think he has the best deep ball in the country, and I think he probably has a superior deep ball to even Tua. I think Tua was a more pure passer, but Mac has been unbelievable, lights out down the field, and he's got some receivers that can go get it as well. And I think Trevor is right there. I think when he comes back, if he's able to win the ACC championship and beat Notre Dame again, I think he could make a push at it. But I'd probably have him at 1B right behind Mac Jones. Listen, he's had a great season. This isn't a knock on Trevor. It's just Mac has also been unbelievable. And I think the other guy that has a real chance is Justin Fields, but he's only played 2 games, so it's hard to compare, 6 games or 7 games against 2 games. That's a tough comparison. So we need to wait till we see Justin Fields play a little, or until we see Justin Fields and Ohio State, this offense, play a couple more games.
Tim, since we're talking about Clemson, Notre Dame, who do you think about the guy the Irish have under center, Ian Book, which is an easier Anglican name for us to pronounce, obviously. Ian Book, easy name to pronounce. How's he look to you?
Yeah, that's a lot easier to pronounce. Listen, Ian is way underrated quarterback, okay? This kid feels like he's been there for 20 years, but he's consistently won. He doesn't turn the football over. He gets a lot of first downs with his legs, just like you're watching right now. An underrated athlete, a tough kid. He only has 1 pick on the season. He does the little things to win. But the biggest problem for Ian this week is, does he have the go-getters on the outside that can help him make those big plays? He's got a good running back and he's got good tight ends. But I think he's missing the big play receiver. Listen, they've had him in the past with Claypool and different guys. I don't know if they have that guy that can go get it like Clemson does, like Alabama does, like Ohio State. That might be the difference in this game.
Is that your way of saying this is going to be a blowout? Another romp by Clemson? Is that what you're trying to say, Tim Tebow? I'm just checking.
That's not at all what I'm saying. I think Notre Dame is competitive in this game. They have the #1 defense in the ACC, top 3rd down defense in the ACC. They have a good running game. They have a really good offensive line. But in these games, the little differences on 3rd down and 8, when you have a receiver that can go make a one-on-one and change it from 50-50 to 80-20, that changes the game. That's what the other great teams in college football have right now, and we're waiting to see if Notre Dame has one of those guys that can change the game when the ball's up in the air.
Tim, not to take any credit away from the receivers, because obviously the guy has to be able to do it, but I actually always thought, for some reason, especially on the college level, when I watch someone like you or Deshaun Watson or one of these guys that the group has great confidence in, when you guys have faith in those receivers, sometimes I would see a 50-50 ball, but it was almost like because you believed in that guy, he went and made the play. How much of that is me just as a fan sitting at home not knowing what I'm looking at? And how much of that do you think is real in terms of the quarterback's confidence in a receiver maybe giving him that little advantage in those types of plays?
I think there's definitely part of that's real. I think it's the relationship. I think it's the chemistry. I think it's the want-to of the receiver. I think it's putting that receiver in a good position. Listen, everybody has different skill sets. I had some receivers that were really good if you led them down the field. Other receivers were really good if you back-shouldered them. I think it's knowing that relationship and putting that receiver in a position where they can succeed. Some receivers like the ball in different places, and that's between that receiver and that quarterback. That's something that when we watch this game with DJ and his receivers, he's not going to know as well as Trevor does. That's a big difference, right? Every receiver is different, and that chemistry with the quarterback is so important. But when they're in sync, when you look at that receiver and you know, hey, this is where I'm going to put it. I need you to be there. I need you to be 17 yards, 2 yards inside. And when you make that break, I'm going to hit you right in your face because I know that's where you want it. That's the relationship you need to have. And that's hard for a quarterback that's starting his second game. But I do think when you have that relationship, it makes a huge difference.
Notre Dame is 0-5 against top 5 opponents under Brian Kelly thus far. Tim, you know I got to ask you about your Gators where you won your chips. How are they going to pull off the upset against Georgia?
I think it all comes down to style of play. Listen, Georgia's the most physical team in the country on offense and defense. Georgia wants to take this and make this a backyard brawl. They want to turn this from the largest outdoor cocktail party into the largest fight. They want to get physical. They want to slow the game down. They want to have ground and pound on both sides of the ball. Florida doesn't. Florida wants to use their skill, their tight ends, their receivers, Kadarius Toney, Kyle Pitts, Kyle Trask. They want to spread it out. Which style of play takes over? If Florida's able to turn this to kind of basketball on grass, Florida has a huge advantage. But if it's a style of play that Georgia wants, is the physical, the backyard brawl, Georgia has an advantage. If Florida's able to do that, I think they have too many playmakers, they get it done, unless it's played on Georgia's terms.
All right, Tim, before we let you go, real quick here, I need one tip. I'm asking for a friend. So there's a thing called the freshman 15, and then there's a thing called the COVID 20. What would be your one tip to help someone out that ate a little too much at home?
Superior genetics. Look at this guy.
Eliminate a little bit of the sugar and carbs. You don't have to go all the way, but eliminate some of the sugar, and that'll help.
Oh, my gosh. It's going to be so hard for Max to pull off. All right, we'll leave it there. Tim, thank you so much for being with us.
She ain't lying.
I'm just kidding. I'm feeling it myself.
Awesome.
You see these cheeks. All right, Tim, appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you guys. See y'all.
All right, when we come back, Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams. You heard that last night. Is